bit about today's live. I'm going to put the camera down. Okay, so the first thing I did with this today was I took out my little craft iron and let's see, there we go. I took out my little craft iron and ironed all the big folded wrinkles out because this was folded in a package like 4 ways. And I have stuffed a file folder that I have placed inside a plastic trash bag to prevent any of the paint seeping through on the other side. And then I'm excited about this project, you guys. Before I get started, I'll let a few people get on. No, I don't do different sizes in paper. I only do, the measurement is 21 inch by 29 inch. Now, on this particular design, there's 4, I'm gonna bring the camera up so I can show you guys. So, you have to go on the website because I can't remember, and the website's in the link, and it's on Etsy and on my own website. But this design, this tissue has 4 designs on 1 page. And so I don't know what the measurements are for A4 because I don't work in those categories. All my design tissues are 21 by 29. So this is 29 and this is 21. And there's 4 designs on this particular, hi Kathy. And there's 4 designs on this particular sheet. 4 different designs. And I am just like so in love with this design. I love all these beautiful faces. Look at, there's so much beautiful detail. Like, let me fold it back in half again because it's so hard with the fan going. So look at the beautiful detail on this with the bird down in the corner and butterflies. Look at her beautiful face and her hair. There's just so much detail going on. And I love her red hair. She's a little bit plainer. Aren't they pretty? And so then there's this one. I think she's beautiful too. And there's so many things that you can use these on. Hi, Mickey. Look at the detail in her dress and her collar. And then this one. I love this one. I love them all, honestly. It's so hard. That's why I put in the comments for you guys to tell me which one of these you like the best, and that's what we'll do today. You guys didn't comment or tell me, so unless you tell me now, I'll figure it out on my own. So I'm going to show you because I just got these up. I just got these delivered over the weekend, and I've been working like 10 hours a day getting them folded and loaded up onto my website. And so this is one of these ladies, and I can't remember the name of all of them, honestly, but she's kind of a wild thing. And my next door neighbor saw her and just fell in love with her. And so we're going to decoupage her on a chair. My neighbor has a chair she wants me to put her on. And this is right up the alley of my neighbor. So I'm excited to do this. And this one has a companion sheet that comes with it that just carries over the design that's already on this sheet, the background design. And so it does make it perfect if you're going to put it on a chair or something like that and you need more of the background tissue. Well, here it is, all in one. So, and as I said, all of these tissues are 21 by 29. So again, you've got two designs on this one and you just cut that measurement in half. These guys are hilarious. It's cats and bunnies. And again, there's 4 designs on each page. And these designs are slightly smaller than the girls' faces because there is a border that goes around this whole sheet. So they're a little bit smaller, but I have a ceiling fan going because it's like, you know, 115 degrees here today. So there's one of the cats and there's one of the bunnies. I love those glasses. Hi, Barbara. And here is another one of the bunnies. He looks like he is just so smart. He's like the smartest bunny in town. Those glasses just give him an edge. And then I just love, love, love this cat. And I think this cat would be so fun on a canvas bag too. I just think it's so cute with those big eyes. And these are so colorful. Okay, so then I have some more fancy ladies. These aren't crazy. These are fancy ladies. And there's 4 on this sheet too. So on this side, we've got this pretty lady with the birds. And all of these ladies have beautiful head wraps and glasses. I think they all have glasses. Look how beautiful their clothes and their jewelry and the birds and the background detail on this. It's just so pretty. And then here's another lady. And I had a hard time deciding what today's project was going to be because I love doing these canvas bags and I haven't done one in a long time. So any of these ladies would be really fun on a canvas bag. But they'd be fun on furniture. They would be fun on anything you decide to put them on. So there was those 2, and then there's 2 more. She's got roses and birds, and I love her turquoise beads, turquoise and silver beads with this red dress, this fancy red dress, and those glasses. Oh my gosh, crazy. And then this lady, look at those flowers. And I love that they all have stuff going on in their hair. And she's really pretty too. So all 4 of these ladies are on one sheet too. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, you guys. Okay, so then we have this sheet, which I just love the colors in this. These colors are just like summer. They're just like sunshine. And so this is a full sheet of this design. This is either the top or the bottom. It's like a banner going across. And then you've got that bright sunny yellow, but you've got some texture and browns that mix into it. And then you've got some script and handwriting and more flowers. Hi, Melissa. So I can see this being put on a dresser or drawers or a nightstand. And the light is playing with it because it's actually a very bright. There, when I get back, you get a better idea. it's a very bright yellow with a beautiful orange color, and then you've got that dark shaded tint in it, and you've got script. It's just a really cool piece. It's got a lot of texture and depth to it. So there's that one. And then last but not least, more beautiful women. I don't know why I was just on a tangent with these beautiful women, but I was. And the truth is, I designed all of these like 6 months ago, and then life just kind of like got out of control for me, and it's just taken me a while to get things back under control again. So I've had these guys designed for quite a while, and then finally just got them to the printers. But this is another set of ladies, and they're not quite as elderly as the other set that I showed. So these ladies are, I have been, Donna, I really have been. But I think they're just beautiful faces, and there's 4 on a page to this one too. She looks a little snooty, I think. But look at the gears, look at the detail. There's detail in her earrings. I've been excited about them, and I'm glad I finally got them done. And when I got them back from the printer and opened up my shipment, which was like 1,500, almost 2,000 tissues, and every one of them has to get folded. So I have been spending hours watching TV. Hi, Kathy. And folding. Look at the detail. And so you can really embellish this too. If you guys remember the steampunk bag that I did quite a while back, I kind of had these ladies in mind. I'll go grab that bag in case you haven't had the pleasure of seeing her. But this is the same one that I'm going to do on my neighbor's chair, just a smaller version. Hi, Molly. So let me go get that steampunk bag that I did previously. So just so you can get an idea of where I'm going with these designs, is this is a steampunk gal I did sometime last year, and there were like, I don't know, 6 different versions of her, different poses, but there was a lot of background tissue on that sheet also, because I try to give you guys a lot of bang for your buck. And then I embellished her. So she already had gears and stuff on her, but I put real gears on her and real little stones, glass stones, so that, can you see the sparkle in them? Melissa did this. Thanks, Kathy. Melissa did this on a larger version of her on a grandmother clock that is just breathtaking, breathtaking. But you know, there's more gears that I added on here. And I think it's, Donna, I think it's just really fun. And then I did the back with Harlequin, because you guys know I'm not so much a check girl, but I am definitely a Harlequin girl. And so I did the back all gold and black check. So you can make these bags really fabulous, really, really fabulous. So that's enough of the show and tell, but all of these designs, ladies, are up on both websites, both on the Bucher Designs, Deborah Bucher Designs website, and up on my Etsy. And let me just give you a little hint. If you're only ordering, I'm either too tall or too short. Donna, the canvas bags I get at Michael's, and I always get them when they put them on sale. And this is the brand. I know that's backwards. It's called Make Market, and I buy them 3 at a time in a bag because I love to do these. So you can get them at Michael's and just wait till they have a sale, you know, where they put 30% off. I always have some in stock because I love those bags. And what fabulous gifts. And if you do the markets, then that would be, I'm sure they would sell like crazy in the markets. A little more information. This is the bag, and I've ironed it out so that the fold lines from being in the box are gone. And I have used Liquitex Clear. It's acrylic medium, and it's clear gesso. And I also get this at Michael's or at Hobby Lobby, either one. All right, so this is gesso, and it's clear. And I'm just pointing it out that it's clear because when you go to paint it on, it looks white, it looks opaque, but as it dries clear. And that's what you want to use for this project. And almost like 98% of the time when I'm doing a canvas project, I always condition my canvas with the gesso. And what it says on here, it says it primes your surface, which means that everything that you put on here, color and paper and everything, is going to adhere better. It adds tooth. It gives a transparent matte finish, leaving the ground color unchanged. So whatever your color is, it's not going to change it. It's non-yellowing. It's water resistant when it's dry, which is pretty important. And so I always use this when I'm doing any decoupage with canvas, just to give it a good background. And I'm going to grab my scissors. Okay, so I'm going to use my scissors so that I have a straight line so I can go back and use the adjacent tissue. Okay, and so I'm going to turn this around so it's not upside down for you guys. It will be for me, and I'll have to turn it back around to get it fully positioned. So she's a little longer, not too much, but she's a little longer than my bag. And so where she's going to get cut off is going to be like right here, which is okay. But I don't want to lose the bird completely. So, well, we aren't going to lose the bird completely. We just lose his legs and part of his tail. I was just thinking I could cut him out and move him up. And I do plan on trying to match this color to the rest of the bag here. But I think we're just going to let him go like that. I'm sorry I have to lose that. Let's see. If I come up a little higher here, we would just lose a little bit of that, which I think is okay. I'm going to turn it back around so I can see. Donna, I love that. Anne is my neighbor who, if you guys remember, I painted that iron candelabra thing in her backyard on like the hottest day of the year. Okay, I like this better. We get all of her head in, but I get this beautiful bird in too. So I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to put my remote there, and I'm going to go ahead. And normally I tell you guys to use water to cut your paper, but in this case, on these tops and bottoms, I'm going to cut with scissors. because it's a squared off edge to start with. See, these sides I am gonna cut with water. And I am going to paint this bag with some colors that are pretty close. They're not spot on, but they're pretty close. And then let me turn that back around for you guys. And you know, sometimes I always think I should get all this prep work done before we start the live, but I think it's also beneficial for those that are new to this to have the benefit of seeing how you do, you know, each step. I did go ahead and put the gesso on before we started. And that was just one coat, you guys. Okay, so to make sure that I haven't miscalculated. Okay, and I'm going to cut this edge. So I hope you guys will consider doing one of these bags. I think they're so much fun, and I've done them for Christmas. Oh, I've made some really amazing Christmas ones. And you know, then that works as a double gift because they get a beautiful canvas bag, but then they also get a gift inside the bag. Okay, so this measures out pretty darn good. And normally I would say to, you know, depending on what your paper looks like, to paint the background that you're decoupaging on white. But I think this background is light enough, and these colors are going to go ahead and come through just fine. So I'm not going to paint the back of the background white. Melissa, you're going to for sure what? And I'm excited too. I need to get that class scheduled because we're going to do that chair, Anne's chair, in a class, a chair class. So if you guys want to do a chair, there's lots of really cool tissues to choose from. So the next step, you guys, is I'm going to take a brush. This is a good one. And I'm going to just dip it in some water, and I'm going to just go over the edge on here. Make sure you guys can see. I'm just wetting it a little bit, and then I'm just going to pinch it off. And that's so I don't have a straight cut on this side over here. I don't care about the top and the bottom, but I am going to paint both sides of this, and I want them to be blended in. And by doing this, it softens it and doesn't look so harsh. It doesn't look like we put a piece of paper on here. Like when I showed you the other bag, the steampunk bag, all of that was torn paper, every bit of it. And there was a lot of paper on that. Okay, can you already tell that that just softens up? And then when I blend in the paint color, that's going to do the same. But I did keep you guys in mind when I was doing these to give you a lot of bang for your buck. So you have a lot of designs on one sheet. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it back around again. Get it down here straight. That worked out good. I'm happy I was able to keep that little bird on there. And let's see, need a ruler. So that's 1.25 inches. And that's 1.5 inches. Inch and a quarter. Needs to go back that way just a skosh. Let me just flip it one more time, just to eyeball it this direction. Okay, I think that's going to work good. I just happen to have a clothespin here, so I'm going to clothespin it so it doesn't shift on me. I was just thinking some paper clips would be helpful, but that's going to work. I don't know why I have a clothespin here. Oh, I have another one. Okay, so then, now we're going to start decoupaging. Isn't she pretty, Melissa? I love all this fancy hair. I love this background. You all know I love birds. So, let's see. Nope, that's not going to work. Let me clip it from the bottom. Sorry, you guys. I mean, it's super important to have it positioned correctly before you start decoupaging. Okay, so I'm going to use Dixie Belle Satin Top Coat as my decoupage medium. Get it in the camera. It feels like this one's half empty. Yeah, it is. I have more out. I have more out in the other room where the furniture painting's going on. Let's find a good brush. That one will do better. Okay. I may have to run out there and grab my other satin top coat. Okay, so when I'm decoupaging, I like to start at the top and work my way down. I do that on everything because then it doesn't shift and you get your pieces on straight. Satin top coat is a great medium for decoupage because this is what you finish your furniture with, and it isn't going to turn yellow over time, and it isn't going to crack over time like Mod Podge does. So I know a lot of you hear me say that every single time, but I cringe when I see people using Mod Podge. And I'm just putting my anchor row up here at the top. I always start with an anchor row, and then that makes sure that as I'm going along, everything is gonna lay flat. And I like to have a piece of saran wrap. And I'm gonna start here in the middle, and then just smooth it down. And I want to make sure that I got it underneath these edges over here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I did, but I just want to be sure. Okay, and by using the saran wrap like this, I can smooth it out and there's no texture from my fingertips that are going to tear my paper. And that's why I do that. Feels like a spot right there. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it. Nope, I can probably get to it when I pull it up. Okay, talking to myself, you guys. All right, so now I'm going to pull this up. And usually I'm not, when I'm doing this, I'm not usually upside down like this. So, all right, so now I'm just going to put another row of decoupage medium. And remember, I've conditioned this bag with the gesso. So it's a really nice smooth surface for me to be putting the satin top coat on. And I want to be sure I get up underneath here so I don't have any little air pockets or gaps. And since I can't really see, I'm crossing my fingers. And I like to do a section at a time like this for two reasons. First of all, it gives me control. And when I go back to put my next line of decoupage medium satin top coat, I'm going to work back up to that same line. So I'm going to lay her down. And again, smooth it out using the saran wrap. Okay, then we're going to smooth it back again, pull it back. I'm offloading just underneath it, not right where I need the medium to go. I'm like right underneath it. I'm going to work my way up under there. I just don't want a blob of medium. And I'm doing like 1.5 inches, 2 inches at a time. These designs also, you guys, would be really pretty on trays and then do a resin pour on top of them. So they would be pretty on silver trays or wooden trays. So keep an eye out at your favorite thrift store. I have I have some Lazy Susans, so I'll probably do some of these on the Lazy Susans too. Okay, so I have a nice smooth coat. I always start back in the center and work each direction, because you always want to remember paper has elasticity and it will stretch. So you don't want to be going back and forth on it. And you just keep doing the same thing all the way down. Oh, Melissa, I can hardly wait to see what you ordered. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, I do love redheads. You know, for a while in my much younger years, I had red hair. I mean, I was born with dark brown hair. That's my, when I wasn't an old woman, when I was a young girl, I had dark brown hair. And then when I was a teenager, I don't know if I colored it when I was a teen or not. Probably not, because I think my mother would have had a heart attack. So it was probably not until I was married that I actually did my hair red. And I had red hair for a lot of years. And I really liked it. I love the redheads on these sheets. I just think they're stunning. So if you have any redheaded people in your family, they're going to love this. See how nice and straight that goes down and so smooth? Well, you know, some of us just aren't born with red hair. Some of us just aren't. And now I have white hair. It's not even gray, it's just white. Who knew? My grandfather had white hair, and my dad, when he got older, he had white hair. So I definitely got the genes from that side of the family. My mother was a towhead blonde, and she didn't, when she passed, she didn't have a single gray hair on her head. Not a single gray. It was just like amazing. I didn't even know that was possible. So you guys, what do you think I should do on the back side of this bag? Do you think I should do Harlequins like I did on the one that I showed you? I could do bigger ones or smaller ones. What do you think? What do you think we should do with the back of this bag? We could put little jewels on the flowers and things in her hair. I'll have to go through all my jewels, all my sparkles, and see what I have. Oh, Kathy, I bet you were. Of course she's beautiful no matter what, but I have to say, red hair is really special. I don't have red hair. I never had it naturally, but I do think red-haired girls and women are stunning. Donna, the bags are fun. And like I said, you know, you can do them for so many occasions. I've done Easter bags, Christmas bags, like everyday bags. I really enjoy doing the bags. I really do. And not everybody has these kind of bags. It's not something, I don't see other people doing this. I don't know why, but I don't. I did a really cool Halloween bag a couple of years ago too. I'll see what bags I still have around, and I'll just stick up a collage picture of all the bags. Even if I don't have the bag, I probably still have pictures. Well, am I right, Melissa? Doesn't it take part A and part B to make a redhead? That it can't just be one person has the gene for it? Even if the gene isn't dominant, don't you have to have two redheaded genes to make a redhead? I think I'm right about that. I think that's what makes redheads so rare. I mean, look at all the blondes, look at all the brunettes, look at all the black-haired people, but redheads are much less prominent. So, Melissa, that would mean that somewhere in your husband's gene pool, there was a redhead in there somewhere. Okay, so another tip. This has gone down super well. I don't have any wrinkles or anything on here. But let's say for some reason, as you were putting yours down and you did end up with a wrinkle, let it dry completely, and then take parchment paper, and then take your iron on the hottest setting, like cotton, and make sure there's no water in your iron, and put the parchment paper on top of your decoupage, and you can iron out most wrinkles, because what it does is it liquefies the satin top coat underneath it, which makes everything adhere down better, and you're ironing out your wrinkles. So if you're doing this or any decoupage project, that's a little tidbit for you. I won't charge you for that little piece of information. Donna, I do have, I'll show you, I took a file folder, you know, like your manila file folder, and I put it inside a trash bag, and then I slid it inside this bag. So yes, there is something blocking this from going through. And we're down to our last little row here. Okay, so you guys, paper does stretch when it's wet. And so I have a little bit of extra paper down here on the bottom. Just a tiny bit, not too much. And so I'm just going to take my scissors and trim that off. Might be better. Yeah, that'll work better. You could also, when it's completely dry, you could take a clean sanding block and sand it off. But the scissors worked well. So where, let's see. Okay, so there she is. There's a little piece up there I need to trim off, but I'm going to let it all dry. So this is as far as we're going to go with her today. Tomorrow, I'm going to blend in paint on both sides. I'm going to match these colors and do some blending. I pulled out some different paint sticks to see, you know, there's different colors, like that goes really good in there. This goes better up here and down here. There's a little bit of this blue in here, or I think this blue is the better blue. So tomorrow, we're gonna do some blending in over here, and then we're gonna top coat her again with another coat of satin top coat just to seal her off so that she stays clean and wipeable, not washable, but wipeable. And then I think when we get all done with that, then I'm gonna pull out all my jewels and we'll bedazzle her up a little bit. And then I need to think about what color the handles are going to be and what design to put on the back of her. So she's got a little ways to go, but you can see how easy the feature point is on her. So what do you guys think? So do me a really big favor, you guys. If this is a project you think other people would enjoy and they just haven't discovered me or my page, which there's a lot of people that haven't, If you would just sprinkle this around, that would be so appreciated. It really helps me out a lot. And I hope you'll come back tomorrow for part 2. And we will continue to work on her. And I appreciate you guys being here today so much. You guys are a fun group. Honest to goodness, you really are. Okay, you guys, have a great evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.